Air Canada, fly-by-wire A320NX, sitting on the stand in Toronto on our way to Montreal. Passengers boarding, baggage is being loaded. All that's left to do is load in our flight plan into our McDo, and we'll be set to go. So let's jump into the cockpit and get started. Grab our OFP here. All right. Flight number today is AC1018 for Air Canada. Our cost index today looking like it's going to be 6. And our cruising altitude for this flight is going to be 320, 32,000 feet. Perfect. All right. Now we are ready to put the flight plan into the McDo. Let's get our routing information back up on the OFP. We're going to be departing runway 24 left. It's going to be a direct departure. 24 left. From there, we are going to go direct to Bob Key. From Bob Key, we will go direct to Melty. From Melty, we'll go to Torney, and then that's going to be the last waypoint. Getting entered in. No airways today. Put our arrival in for Montreal. Looks like we're arriving on runway 23 via the Raggeds arrival. Okay, have that all executed in. Our flight plan is set to go now. Let's just make sure, turn this into plan. We will go through the flight plan all the way through just to make sure. This right here. Gotta get rid of this 1602. This keeps populating in for some reason whenever I generate the flight plan, and it makes you go in and take it out. So let's just make sure real quick. We'll get rid of the continuity too. Let's just make sure real quick that our plan is still looking correct. Okay, departure, top key, melty, horny. Okay, that all looks good. Perfect. Flight plan is all set to go. Only thing left to do now is going to be to start the APU. We're going to turn on the left fuel pumps 1 and 2. APU bleed will come into the on position. Master APU switch comes into the on position. And start the APU. The beacon light is going to come on to let the ground crew know that we are beginning to start up the airplane. The emergency exit lights are going to go into the arm position. Let's just check and make sure our cockpit door is locked, which it is. And while the APU fires up, we'll program our autopilot and our performance. So we're going to be selecting flaps 1 out of Toronto with a flex 2 temp of 40. Let's get our V speeds entered. This airplane should have no problem rocket shipping out of here. Looks like our V2 speed is 126. For our autopilot, we want V2 plus 10. So we'll enter that in just to be safe. Right, 136, perfect. Get our cruising altitude entered in. So it's 36,000 feet, or 32,000 feet rather. Perfect. Alright, sounds like the APU has come to life. Let's plan our pushback. Left. Perfect. Right. We're going to push back out and to the right. Pre-planning here. That in. Pushback is pre-planned. Let's head outside and tell the baggage along with the catering to get out of the way, along with the ground power. Jump back into the cockpit and get ready for pushback. Alright. Turn on our fuel pumps to start the engines. Nav lights will come into the on position. Seatbelt signs are on. No smoking. Stays in the on position at all times. Okay, external power can come off. start pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground.
All right.
Stand by.
The pushback tug is going to hook up to the airplane to get us out from the gate. Flight time going down to Montreal today. It's just about 57 minutes. I mean, Montreal to Toronto, rather. We're going to Toronto. 57 minutes on the flight time. Looks like the weather in Toronto looks like is 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Celsius for anyone in Canada that's watching. So we have visibility of 15 miles. Cloud ceiling is 12,000 feet above ground level. A few clouds at 8,000 feet and scattered clouds at 25,000 feet. No significant weather observed at this time, which is absolutely fantastic. What's going on with this ground tug here? Come on, man. Alright, we're just gonna...
Ground, please cancel pushback operation.
They're having a hard time, clearly. We're just gonna push back on our own. Had enough of waiting for them. Parking brake gets released. Ignition mode comes over to ignition and start.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Let's see if they can connect.
Ground, please cancel pushback operation.
Roger. Pushback cancel.
Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to use the flight simulator stock pushback because that pushback guy, just for whatever reason, they don't seem to know what they are doing. Come on.
Montreal ground, Southwest 1428, heavy requesting pushback. Southwest 1428, heavy pushback request accepted.
Cockpit
This is
to ground.
ground. Stand by.
Montreal ground, Southwest.
Alright, I'm having a hard time getting this pushback to work. I'm not sure what the problem is at the moment, so I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit and push the
Please cancel
airplane back.
pushback operation.
Because that's the problem, is we're too close to the gate, and the pushback driver just can't seem to figure himself out to get lined up with the airplane to push us back, and it's a bug that has been in this pushback forever, this pushback planner. I hope the developers will fix it soon. I'm going to report the bug.
Cockpit to ground.
There we go. Connect to my airplane, please. Whenever you're ready. Chop chop. Come on. Oh, looks like he's finally going to get hooked up. About time. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting in the cabin with no air conditioning because the ground crew can't seem to be able to figure out how to connect the airplane to the aircraft and, you know, turn the wheel on their tug just a little bit to
Okay,
be able to
sir.
connect.
The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
And when we start the engines in the Airbus A320neo, quite a little bit different from starting the engines in
We are
the
cleared for
EMD
start and push.
G737 that we've been flying.
Okay, cleared for push start.
With this airplane
Please
here, all
release
you have to
parking
do
brake.
is move the engine switches into the on position and it takes care of the fuel flow for you. So we're going to release the parking brake, get our pushback
Parking
started.
brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Okay, we'll start with engine 2. As you can see, our N2 percentage is rising, just like in the 737, but this is a little bit different because, like I said, the airplane automatically introduces the fuel for you. So once N2 reaches 25%, you will hear the engines come to life. There they go. Engine number 2 is winding up. Take a look outside. Okay, she is running. Hop back inside. We will go for engine number 1 now. Come down here, select engine number 1 into the on position. Now you'll see engine number 1 and 2 rotation. Alright, on she goes. We can hop over inside real quick.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Right, set our parking brake for him
Parking brakes
so
set.
we can lower the airplane.
Parking brake set.
Engine
Lowering
mode
aircraft.
comes back into the normal position.
Ground.
Perfect.
Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
We can
Roger.
disconnect the
Engine
APU
start
bleed now,
cleared to
as well as the
disconnect. See you at the
APU,
side.
seeming as
Have a
we are
good flight.
running off the engine
Holding
generators
position
now.
waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
We're going to turn our taxi lights on, along with our runway turn-offs. We're going to select our flaps to 1. Auto brake is going to come up for max, just in case we have to reject the takeoff for any reason. Alright, flaps are set. We should be ready to go. Let's get on out of Montreal, shall we? Plan for the taxi is going to be straight ahead, to the left, to the right, following all the way down, and then left, following all the way down runway 24 left. Let's release the parking brake. Apply a little bit of power to get us rolling. It's not going to take much in the A320. Alright, there we are rolling. Just make sure we're not going to pick up too much speed here as we are near the ramp area. beautiful weather in Montreal as well. Perfect day for flying. Looking forward to getting the A320 back up in the air. I haven't flown this airplane in quite a while, so I may be a little rusty, but a little rust is to be expected. Okay. Make sure we're keeping going in the right direction here, which we are. Keep our speed under control. A little bumpy in Toronto's airport, huh? Runway 24 left is on our right-hand side there. Just have to continue taxiing straight here. On taxiway Foxtrot. approaching the runway threshold here shortly. We are going to be holding short of the runway for this departure. No turn and burn today. Here's our turn to get onto runway 24 left. Like I said, we are going to be holding short of the runway for just a few moments. All right. We're going to come up top. We're going to get our landing lights into the on position. Nose lights go to the takeoff, runway turn off lights come into the off position, strobes go into the on position. Let our flight attendants know that we will be taking off and test our takeoff configuration. Okay, looks like we are good to go. Throttle levers are coming up to about 40%. Releasing the brakes and up to flex. There's our rotate speed already. Slowly lift our nose up off the ground. Up we go. Positive rate of climb, landing gear is coming up. Maintain our runway heading. Okay, we have cleared the runway. Start our right-hand turn. Time for the flaps to come clean. Time for the autopilot to come on. Nice departure. Out of Toronto. I mean, my apologies, Montreal down to Toronto. What a departure out of Montreal for Toronto. Total flight time, like we said, is only about 51 minutes. Jump back inside the cockpit, make sure we don't have anything going on. Make sure there's no bells and whistles, which there isn't. Go over to our progress page, just keep an eye on everything to make sure that we are right on track. Right now, it looks like it has us landing in Toronto. Looks like in about 30 minutes, 35, 40 minutes. 50, yeah, about 45 minutes until we land in Toronto. Beautiful clear skies over Canada today. We can bring down the volume of the airplane now and head outside. Beautiful scenery of Canada below us. Smooth air, no bumps, no bangs. Doing absolutely fantastic after departure. Let's jump back inside the cockpit. Make sure that we don't have anything going awry. Doesn't look like we do. We're just passing through 23,500 feet, climbing at 3,200 feet per minute. Absolutely rocket shipping up to our cruising altitude. Landing lights can come off. Nose light can come off. Runway turn-offs stay off. And we can even throw the seatbelt sign off for a few moments to allow people to stretch a little bit. We will pull for standard altitude mode. Jump into the wing. Alright, let's throw on the tunes. Keep cruising. Okay, and I believe we just reached our cruising altitude. Let's jump back into the cockpit just to make sure. Come on, into the cockpit. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yep, just reached our cruising altitude, 32,000 feet. Let's keep an eye and make sure of our progress. Right now, it still looks like they have us landing in about 36 minutes. 36 minutes until arrival. Got about 226 nautical miles to go. Take a look at our EFB over here. We want to calculate our top of descent. Current altitude's 32,000 feet. Our target altitude on the way down will be 4,500. And our vertical speed distance. There we go. We're almost ready to start our descent very shortly. Only 46.2 nautical miles to go. Okay, cruising nicely. 32,000 feet. Just make sure we are still on track here. Yep, our arrival looks like we are still looking like we are going to hit it. Top of descent. Looks like in about 26.3 miles. Seems to be a little bit early, in my opinion. Alright, still keeping on track. Gonna enter in our descent here. Get us down to 4,500 feet when we are ready to start descending. Hopefully the A320neo does this on its own. I believe it should. But I guess we're gonna find out. Perfect, beautiful flying weather today. Absolutely gorgeous. No bumps. Smooth. And of course, to anybody who's watching, now is the time for me to always repeat this. Please like and share if you haven't already. We have 7 subscribers at the moment. We are looking to go up to 25 by August 1st, so please like and share the stream, as well as subscribe and click on the notification bell so you know exactly when I go live. Jump back into the cockpit, just make sure we are still going straight. 153 miles to go until we reach Toronto. We can see our weather in Toronto. Looks like it's about 24 degrees Celsius. Let's just double make sure. 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Celsius. Looks like we have winds coming in now at 14 miles an hour coming in from the west. Gusting up to 20 miles per hour. This is going to be an interesting arrival now, to say the least. Visibility is greater than 15 miles, 12,000 feet ceiling for clouds, with few at 8,000 feet and scattered at 25,000. No significant weather observed at this time. I don't know what clouds they're talking about. I mean, there's a few, as you can see, scattered as we're coming in. That's probably what they're referring to. Starting to get a little bumpy. That's alright, though. Little bump is alright. Still doing really well. Once again, everybody, as we jump back over into the cabin on the left-hand side of the aircraft, I please ask that everybody please subscribe and hit the notification bell on my channel. I have 7 crew members, or subscribers so far. My goal is to have 25 by August 1st. That's less than 1 subscriber per day. So please, tell your friends, tell your siblings, tell your dogs, tell your cats, and tell them to tell their friends, so we can make this channel grow and spread the hobby of flight simulation even farther than it already has reached just within the release of Flight Simulator 2020. Should be starting our descent shortly here into Toronto. I'm hoping that the airplane is going to start descending on its own. It should. The fly-by-wire has been a bit funky for me lately when it comes to the autopilot. Hopefully our VNav is going to catch here and we can start descending. If not, I'll do it manually. It's no big deal. Still landing right on time, right at 17:18. That's only 17 minutes away. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to plan our descent ourselves. That's okay. Alright, we have started our descent now. Let me just take a look at our top of descent calculator here. Perfect, okay. One thing you might want to chat about is we started watching the part 2 of Stranger Things Season 4. And I will say, I am somewhat a little disappointed, and for whatever reason I kind of had in my head that I thought that Stranger Things Season 4 part 2 was going to be another 8 or 7 episodes. Turns out it's only 2 episodes, one of which is over 2 hours, which is fine. I'm not sure why I psyched myself up thinking that there was going to be another 7 episodes, almost like another season. But I could have had high hopes, right? Tell me what you think about the new season down in the chat. Do not spoil it for me, as I have not seen past the first episode of part 2. The second episode is going to be watched tonight, and we can discuss further once I see it. Hey babe, looks like you finally learned how to use the comment section or the chat. Awesome. We are about 81 miles away from Toronto. Now that we are descending, I'm going to lower the music entirely and turn up the game volume just a little bit. Don't want the game volume to be too high so you guys can't hear me. "14 minutes until the arrival. About 70 miles away. Alright, we need to take ourselves out of standard. Reset our pressure. Still doing well. Once again, remind everybody to please subscribe, like, and share the stream. Turn on notifications so you will be notified whenever I go live or post a video. Have 7 total subscribers at the moment. We are looking to have a total of 25 by August 1st. That is less than 1 subscriber per day. I really hope that we can hit that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the arrival into Toronto. As of now, we should have our wheels on the ground in about 12 minutes. 55 miles to go. Adjust our speed to get us down to 220 knots. Thinking we are probably going to have to use a little bit of speed brake. Let's look down here and open her up. Go, we are now below 250 knots. Perfect. Just as we went below 10,000 feet. That means our landing lights come into the on position. Fasten seatbelt sign goes on one more time. Let's let the flight attendants know that we will be arriving shortly. Okay, we can close the speed brake now. We should keep it open for now. Try to spill off as much speed as possible. We are only supposed to be at 220 knots at this altitude for this waypoint. Right now we are just above 230. Thank you again to my viewers that are watching. I deeply appreciate it. Please leave me some information in chat. Let me know if you can hear me okay, and let me know if the stream sounds okay. If you have any flight suggestions for a later stream, you can please put them in the chat as well. Alright, let's close our speed brake. Starting a right-hand turn here. Doing very well. Let's lower our speed a tad bit more. 200 knots. I think it's safe to slow our descent now, come down to 1,000 feet per minute. Little bumpy as we make our way into Toronto. Should be turning left to line up with the runway shortly. Approach mode is going on. Hey, we hit subscriber number 8. Okay. Gained a subscriber. Thank you so much for whoever subscribed. For whatever reason, I am not getting alerts for subscriptions on the screen. I have to take a look into that with Streamlabs to find out exactly why the alerts are not showing up for subscribers, so I can at least know when someone is subscribed. Not sure why they aren't showing up. I've had this issue a few times lately. Hopefully I can get that solved. Flaps are going to come down to notch 1.
$2,500.
2,500.
above.
We're a little low already. That's no worries.
Minimum. Minimum.
The runway should be right in front of us once we make this left-hand turn. 20 miles out.
Minimum. 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 Minimum.
All right, the runway is going to be right in
Minimum.
front of us. Let's start decreasing speed some more. Some flap comes in. $17 miles to go.
Mi-
Alright, everybody. Time to go to work. To get the approach in Toronto as smooth as we possibly can. I am going to go quiet for just a few moments here, just so we can touch down. Once we touch down, I will be back
Minimum.
with everybody. Talk to you shortly.
Minimum. Minimum. Minimum.
$12 miles to go.
Minimum. Minimum. Minimum.
We have been established on the localizer.
Minimum. Minimum.
Approaching the runway, everybody. Gear is coming down. Enjoy the arrival.
1,000. 1,000.
Under my control now.
$500. 400.
'Little bumpy, a little
300.
windy.
200. 100.
Little high. Maybe not.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Welcome to Toronto, everybody. Wait until we slow on down the runway a little bit. Not my best approach, but thank you for everybody that joined me on this first leg over to Toronto. We'll take the high-speed exit point here. All right. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Flaps are going to come clean. Spoilers are going to come down. Landing lights are going to come retracted. Taxi lights are going to come on. We are going to start the APU. Wonderful. Like I said, everybody, please remember to like and share the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Our goal is 25 subscribers by August 1st. That's quite a simple goal to hit. That's less than one per day. So everybody, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I go live. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Our next leg is taking us from Toronto to Providence, Rhode Island. Make sure you stay tuned for that. First time landing in Toronto, by the way. Wasn't a very bad approach. Weather looks like it took a turn towards the end. We originally had a greater than 10-mile visibility. Gosh, I gotta get used to this nose wheel steering. I just recently assigned nose wheel steering to the airplane, and it's a lot different than the auto rudder system as we all remember from the FSX days. It is a lot different. Auto rudder is almost like cheating compared to this. Auto rudder is cheating compared to this. Who am I kidding? Once we park on the stand, ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking a quick intermission. About 10 minutes while we get reset and get the next leg and final leg ready to go. That will allow my viewers to grab a drink, grab something to eat, do whatever it is you need to do before our next journey out. Oopsies. All right, approaching our gate here in Toronto. As mentioned, next flight, next leg of our itinerary today will be taking us to Providence, Rhode Island. That is about a 55-minute flight from Toronto. So please make sure that you guys stay tuned in. I would greatly appreciate it. And as mentioned, I'm going to be repeating this religiously throughout every stream. Please like and share, as well as consider subscribing if you've enjoyed my live stream. I would greatly appreciate it, and I would really, really like to see this channel grow. Gonna have to avoid the collision with the Penske truck here. It's pretty much a daily occurrence for me in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This darn Penske truck's always getting in my way. Never fails. Alright, this should be good. Parking brake is going to come on position Engine 2 cut off. Engine 1 cut off. Ignition mode's going to come into normal. Okay, everybody. Welcome to Toronto. Pretty good parking job, I must say. Let's get our jetway connected so everybody can deplane, as well as get our luggage, cars, and our ground power unit connected. Welcome to Toronto. As I've mentioned, next leg is to Providence, Rhode Island, about 55 minutes. We are going to be taking a short 10-minute intermission while I reset the simulator, get us reloaded back up to avoid any bugs of any kind. And I believe that our next approach into Providence, I am going to attempt to use the replay functionality for the first time. Now look at that, there goes our luggage guy glitching out on the bottom. Okay, everybody. Quick intermission. We'll be right back and get going on our way to Providence. Talk to you in 10 minutes. Okay, everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. The final leg of our journey today, from Toronto to Providence, Rhode Island, is just about to be underway. Our baggage cars are now leaving the area, and we have been officially boarded. We just need to jump back into the flight deck, program the rest of our routing, program our performance, and then we'll be able to push back and get on our way. So let's get back into the flight deck here and let's program our routing into the McDo. Let's go ahead over to our EFB and bring up our OFP. Find our routing. Let's see, where is it? Come on. All right. Looks like they're going to have us depart runway 23 on the Kepta 2 departure. Runway 23. Kepta. What transition are they having us take? BMPAH right here. All right. Insert that in. Excellent. Alright, next waypoint is going to be Avon. AEVON. Populate that in. From Avon, we are going direct to Fabin. From Fabin, we are going direct to ALB. That's going to be our last waypoint before we enter in our approach. Alright, let's get our approach in Providence. It looks like they're having us come in again on runway 23 via the, the WIPOR 3 arrival. Standard arrival into Providence. I've done it many times. Let's see if ALB transition's an option here. Don't believe it is. Okay. Alright, our routing has been programmed. Let's just make sure that everything looks correct. We're gonna switch this over to plan, just go through everything and make sure we don't have anything weird going on. Avon, Fabin, ALB. Clear any discontinuities. Okay. This does this to me every single time. This 1100 that pops up here. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. If somebody could tell me what I'm doing wrong when it comes to programming our routing, I would greatly appreciate it as to why I'm getting that waypoint there that always throws everything off. I have to come back in and make sure. Not allowed. I can't delete that discontinuity, huh? Let's go take a look into our flight plan. Manual to sever. This is why I can't stand this sometimes. For whatever reason, we have a discontinuity that I can't get rid of. Not allowed, okay? What is going on here? If anybody has any ideas in the chat, please let me know. That way I don't have to restart the sim, but this happens to me almost every time I try to recalculate the sim without restarting it completely. Or rest of our flight is in there perfectly fine. I just don't understand what the problem is here. "23 to Avon to Faben to ALB." Let's try. Yep, I have no idea what the problem is here. As you can see when we're looking through, something's not quite right. Couldn't tell you what it is. It won't let me clear this Ooh, there it goes. Now it let me clear the discontinuity. What is going on? Dear Lord. Yeah. Avon. Faben. ALB. I think this is what I did wrong. Did something wrong when it came to programming the departure. Now this is all over the place. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Apologize, everybody. I did not intend to have all of these issues with our flight plan. Alright, I'm just going to restart. I'm going to restart the sim, everybody. My apologies. Something isn't quite right. I'll be right back once more. 5 more minutes, please. Apologies. Okay, everybody. Let's try this again. I had to restart the simulator, and thank you for bearing with me while I had to restart. I'm not sure what happened with my flight plan when I was entering everything into the McDo. Something got all messed up. However, I have corrected it. So we are good to go now. I've already programmed the flight plan as well as our performance. I just took care of that just in case something was going to go wrong once more. And if something was going to go wrong once more, I was just going to switch to the PMDG 737 for the flight home. But it looks like we are all set to go. Just put our cruising altitude in here, 37,000 feet. V2 plus 10 is 132. Okay. Alright, perfect. Let's get the APU started. Fuel pump comes on. Master APU switch comes on and start. APU bleed comes on. Beacon and navigation lights come on as well. While we wait for the APU to get started. Emergency lights are going to come on to the on position, and we are going to lock the cockpit door as it is almost time to push back. While the APU gets started, let's go ahead and push back from the gate. Plan our pushback from the gate, rather. Like I've said, this tool right here, the Amphibious Pilot's pushback tool, is a game changer. If you don't have it, I suggest you head over to flightsim.to and grab it, because it tremendously helped me when it came to pushbacks, rather than using the default pushback option in the ATC menu, which can sometimes be a little chaotic. Before we push back and get our engine started, I just want to ask everybody to please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications, as well as like this video. We have 9 subscribers. I haven't been able to update the subscriber goal that you see here, but our goal is 25 subscribers by August 1st, which is less than 1 subscriber per day. If you subscribe, as I'm going on about subscribing, I don't think an alert is going to pop up on the screen. For whatever reason, I just can't seem to get alerts to function in Streamlabs. I've tried everything I could think of to get them to function, and they just don't. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. That's something I'm going to have to research. But yes, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. I would greatly appreciate that. Our APU has been started now. We can get ready to push back. Our fuel pumps are going to come on. And one thing I would just like to say as well, if you notice that I am doing things out of order here, that's just how I fly the simulator. This is meant to be kind of a chill hangout session, as well as being able to teach people, you know, ways of getting these airplanes up and running without going step by step. Some people I know don't always understand everything exactly that you need to do to get the airplane up and running, but you know, there's ways around a few things, and everything that I do here today will be examples of that. So if not everything is by the book, or if you notice something I'm doing wrong, let me know in the chat. Like I said, I just kind of go about getting the airplane started up on my own very way. I'm not using air traffic control or anything just yet. Just getting these streams going in the early goings is just trying to make it as simple as I can, so I'm not causing any crashed desktops or anything like that in the middle of the stream. And eventually I do plan on hopping on Pilot Edge or VATSIM for air traffic control to make it more authentic. But for the time being, this is what we have, and we're just kind of going basically freehand as far as startup procedures go. So let's get the pushback tug connected to us so we can push back.
Stand by.
The jetway has been disconnected. We are going to get our ignition to the start position on our Thrustmaster Airbus TCA Captain's Pack, which I highly suggest you pick up. An absolutely amazing peripheral for controlling an Airbus. I've used it for other airplanes as well. It is just as good for them. You can also use the Boeing TCA pack, of which I also have the 787 Dreamliner pack. Absolutely phenomenal. One of the best yokes I think I've ever used.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Alright, he's going to lift the airplane.
Lifting the aircraft.
Like I said, I don't have any charts or anything pulled up right now at Toronto. I'm just kind of going to wing it when it comes to getting to the runway, so I apologize. Just keep that in mind. I'm not really following by the book right now. I'm just trying to get these streams going.
Released.
Commencing pushback.
Parking brakes have been released. We're going to commence pushback. We're going to start engine number 2 first. Engine number 2 comes into the on position as we watch and make sure our N2 is rising. There it goes. At about 25%, you will hear the engine come to life as fuel is introduced. Okay, fuel's been introduced and the engine is coming alive. N1 rotation is starting to come up. Oil pressure is good. Okay. Hazy weather today in Toronto. On our way to Providence. Originally yesterday the weather in Providence was calling for thunderstorms all afternoon, but it looks like we are going to escape that for today. Engine number 1 coming in to the start position. Let's observe and make sure we have a normal start.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Setting the parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Alright, we have a good start of engine number 1. Let's get back in the cockpit here quickly. Once we switch over to generator 1 power, we are going to disconnect the APU. Shut her down. There we go. APU bleed comes off. APU is going to come off. Let's get our flaps down to 1. Position 1. Down they come. Ignition is going to come into the normal position. Alright, flaps have come down. Coming up now, putting on our nose lights into taxi. Runway turnoffs are also going to come on. We are set to go. Let's plan our routing. Like I said, I'm not using charts, so I'm going to have to use the built-in VFR map to make it to runway 23. Let's see, where are we? Runway 23. Oh, runway 23 is over here. So 24, 23. All right, there she is. Looks like we're just going to pull straight on forward here and take our second right-hand turn and follow that all the way down to the runway. Sounds easy enough. Let's disconnect our parking brakes, give her some throttle, and let's get moving. What a absolutely hazy day in Toronto. Providence is looking like it's going to be the same thing. We have a total flight time for this final leg of the stream of 1 hour and 3 minutes. Quick little hop back into the United States in our Air Canada Airbus A320neo. Okay, taxi checks. Auto brake. Goes to max. Cabin. Test. Here we go. Spoilers coming into the arm position. Takeoff configuration. Ooh, okay. You know what? I gotta disconnect the pedals. There we go. Takeoff configuration gets tested. Okay. We are set to go. If anybody's curious about the mod I'm using to get those sounds, that is FS Realistic. FS Realistic is an absolutely immersive sound add-on, as well as adding camera shakes, landing roll. Seriously great add-on. Should seriously suggest picking it up. Unfortunately, at the moment, as far as I'm aware, it's only for players on the PC. Not sure if that will be getting a release to the Xbox anytime soon, but I imagine it will be eventually. UPS MD-11 right there, absolutely very cool. Just about to turn towards the runway. Again, this is going to be a very powerful takeoff. Not going to take us long to get up at all, just like when we departed Montreal. Like I said, not really used to flying the Airbus. I am mainly a Boeing guy. I just figured I would switch it up today, walking an Air Canada A320neo. Monday I plan on being back in the PMDG 737. That will be a much more by-the-book operation of that aircraft versus the Airbus here. I plan on getting more experience in the Airbus. Always been a Boeing guy. Alright, turning onto runway 23. Let's give her a stop real quick here. Perform our before takeoff checklist. Or my version of it for now. Parking brake comes on. For now, we're coming up. We are turning our landing lights into the on position. Nose lights go into takeoff. Runway turnout lights come off. Strobes come into the on position. Let's make sure that we are looking good down here. Looks like we are all set to go. Okay, everybody. Let's depart. Enjoy the takeoff. Parking brakes coming off. Increasing power. Releasing the brakes. Alright. Flex. V1 and rotate. Positive rate gears coming up. Off here, watch our speed. Airbus TCA side stick, man, makes flying the Airbus just absolutely feel fantastic. Start our left-hand turn and turn on course. Already at 5,000 feet. Turn the auto throttle on. Bring our nose down just a little bit. Accelerate. Begin to level off. Alright, flaps are going to come clean. What an absolutely fantastic departure. Already at 8,000 feet. Completely rocket shipped out of Toronto. Absolutely fantastic. Adjust ourselves, get more on course here before we turn on the autopilot. Already about to pass 10,000 feet. Autopilot is coming on. Landing lights now at 10,000 feet. Going to become retracted. Takeoff lights will come off as well. Absolutely wonderful as we accelerate up now. Let's pop over to our left-hand side view as we are about to cruise right by Toronto. There is the city of Toronto down there. Absolutely fantastic. Don't exactly have my PC pushing 100% on the graphics. It's just set to high end right now. I would rather have stream quality, meaning frames per second, and not as many jumps and jitters, than having it nicer looking stream on my end, on my monitor. But I'd say it looks pretty good for now. Hop back into the flight deck, make sure we don't have any bells and whistles. Looks like we don't. Come on, why aren't we climbing here? We have an altitude restriction that we do. Not according to this one. See, this is why I don't understand the Airbus, man. I have never been able to fly the Airbus properly, no matter what I do. PMDG 737, PMDG 777, PMDG 74, you name it, I can understand it. Airbus A320neo, for whatever reason, she never flies right. Got that right there. Alright, looks like our altitude wasn't in managed mode. Still learning the Airbus, guys. Bear with me, bear with me. There we go. Now we're climbing again. Whoopsies. Bring our audio down just a tad. Once again, everybody, please remember to like and share this stream as well as subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. We have 9 subscribers out of our goal of 25. Looking to have 25 by the end of the month. Or by August 1st. Looks like we are getting there shortly. That's less than 1 per day. So everybody, share the stream to your social media. Tell your friends, tell your family members. Tell your cats, tell your dogs, and tell them to tell their friends too. Would really appreciate it. Let's take a jump outside. Just have to lower our volume here, just in case there are any headphone users watching. There we go. Take a look outside. Alright, let's hop back inside the flight deck. Just going through 21,000 feet, we need to pull this into standard. Maybe turn on some music. Okay, I was just able to test the notification for subscribers, and it's showing up on my end, and it's just for whatever reason Streamlabs isn't pulling the data from YouTube to show any new subscribers, and I don't understand why. Are the devices that you were watching it on still on? Yeah, those are the only two.
Well, my phone might not be.
I had a few people on before. Yeah. And then they quickly... I got 2 subscribers today during the stream. Using what? Okay. Fix the air bubbles in this damn thing. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to get the notifications for the alerts to pop up. I tried to do some troubleshooting and I wasn't really able to find anything, so I have no idea what it could be. It's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. Still trying to figure this out. See, I'm just checking out YouTube right now. I'm going through the settings on here to see if there's something that's stopping the notifications coming through. If anybody in the chat knows why my notifications aren't coming through, please let me know. When I say notifications, I mean the alerts for subscriptions. I just can't seem to be able to get them to come through, and I've tried many times. And try to go into my channel settings here. See if I can't find anything. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out, and I'm not having any luck here. Not sure exactly what I'm doing wrong, but I'm sure I'll figure it out in the future. Let's hop back into the flight deck, check out our progress, make sure that we're coming along nicely. Cruising at 37,000 feet. Let's have a look. 277 miles out. Looks like we will be arriving in about 39 minutes, 40 minutes, give or take. Let's come over to our EFP. Take a look and start to calculate our descent rates. Oops. Oops, come on. 3,500. There we go. Vertical speed won't go down 2,000 feet per minute. 135 miles out before we start our descent. Seems about right. If anybody's watching, please leave me something in chat so I know that you're here. Once again, if anybody is watching, please feel free to leave something in the chat so I know that you're here. Talk to me about anything, ask me questions about the simulator, ask me any question and I will do my best to give you a response. Keep in mind, there are some questions that I may deem inappropriate and will not answer, so I please ask that you be respectful in the live chat. Cruising right along here at 37,000 feet. Let's hop back into the flight deck, check everything out. Make sure we are still on track. Looks like we are 236 miles to go until we arrive in Providence. About another 31 minutes to go. Give or take. Once again, I'm going to remind everybody to please like and share the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Currently have 9 subscribers. I would like to have 25 by August 1st. We are at 9. I need to update our goal there. Please, if you could subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, I would greatly appreciate that. Hop back into the flight deck. "204 miles to go. We'll be starting our descent shortly. Have a sip of our coffee. We all know that pilots need to stay caffeinated to be alert. Get back into the cabin. Let's check out the METAR data for Providence. Looks like in Providence right now, we have winds coming in from the southwest at 9 miles per hour. Visibility is 6 or more miles, so a little bit hazy. Broken clouds at 5,000 feet with a 5,000 foot ceiling. No significant weather forecast found at this time. It's about 84 degrees in Providence at the moment. Cruising along nicely here, arriving in Providence in about 30 minutes. Take a trip outside. Going to lower the volume for headphone users. As mentioned, if anybody watches this video after it airs and can let me know exactly why my alerts aren't coming through to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. We had 2 subscribers join during the stream today and I did not receive alerts for either of them. Not exactly sure why. Gonna try to troubleshoot that in the future. Maybe try to get a hold of somebody in Streamlabs and see why I'm struggling with that. But I hope to have it fixed soon. So if you're watching and you were one of the ones that subscribed and I wasn't able to catch it, and thank you for subscribing, my apologies. Please let me know in the chat if one of those was you. So after a quick little bit of research just then, I was able to find out that a YouTube alert will not show up when someone subscribes to the channel if they have their privacy settings set to private for their subscriptions. So that's probably why I'm not seeing them come through to Streamlabs and onto the stream. Hopefully, in the future, we can get some alerts in here. I don't have the channel opened up to donations or memberships just yet. In the future, that could be a possibility that can be opened up, as well as Super Chat. Don't really know how to get that set up, but we are going to start that shortly as the channel grows. Only my third official live stream to YouTube. Thank you to all that have watched so far. Next stream will be on Monday for the 4th. Probably going to be back in the PMDG 737. Not sure what airline. Not sure about the legs of our itinerary. But keep a lookout. If you subscribed and turned on that notification bell, you should get an alert as to when I'm about to go live. I believe it's 30 minutes beforehand. So keep an eye out for that throughout Monday afternoon. I'm shooting for a 5:30 stream, so another late night stream. Well, that's not late night, but you know, later in the afternoon towards the evening. Let's jump back into the flight deck. Make sure that we are still on track for arrival into Providence. 135 miles out. Do believe we can start our descent now. Alright, starting our descent into Providence, everybody. What on earth is that? Just had some kind of oral warning going on, but I wasn't getting any notifications or any warnings on my screens here. Not sure exactly what that was. Arrival in Providence. Looking like it's going to be another 20 minutes or so. 125 miles out. Might be a little bumpy on our descent. Winds in Providence look like they are blowing quite a little bit at about 7 to 9 miles per hour. Should be nothing. We had much worse winds coming into Toronto. beginning our descent towards Providence now. These clouds look like they're getting awful thick. Let's take a look at our METAR data again. Let's just make sure that nothing has changed and we might not be in for any surprises. We have broken clouds now, 84 degrees, 30,000 foot ceiling, 10-mile visibility, and knots blowing in from a heading of 270 at 7 knots. I am going to repeat this again. If you could please like this stream, subscribe, and turn on notifications to this channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Currently looking to have 25 subscribers, or as I will call you guys, crew members, by August 1st. So tell your relatives, tell your siblings, tell your friends, tell your cats, tell your dogs, and tell them to tell their friends as well, so we can make this channel grow and make chill hangout sessions, for now, 3 times per week, Mondays and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays at noon, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. If you have any flight suggestions, please drop them in the live chat now. I will take all flights into consideration. We may be making our way into Europe sometime next week. Like I said, not sure of the legs just yet, but keep in mind, Europe is going to be in the itinerary. A couple of short hops, perhaps London to Gatwick. That could be one. Not sure yet, but we'll figure a few out. Hop back into the flight deck, make sure we're keeping on track. We are 90 miles out. We need to enter our destination data. Let's see. Get our destination data entered in. Let's see, what's the temperature in Providence right now? We need this in Fahrenheit. I mean, we need this in Celsius. 29 degrees Celsius in Providence at the moment. We need to put that in. What's our winds in Providence? 270 at 7 knots. Enter that in. 270/7. Barometric pressure in Providence at the moment, 29.90. Perfect. QNH, grab that from our METAR data. Getting bumped around just a little bit. Alright, we have our destination data entered, coming down through 21,000 feet. We have 66 miles to go. .57 miles out from Providence, currently at 17,500 feet. Gonna put some one notch of spoiler on. Spoilers to one notch. Just to help us slow down, not pick up any more unnecessary speed. We are about to start a nice left-hand turn here. And get outside and witness that from the engine 1 forward wing view. About to make our arrival into Providence. Get back into the flight deck. 45 miles away. We'll be wheels down in about 8 minutes. The airport is going to be just off our right. Just off our right-hand side. Let's have a look. Let's get in the co-pilot's chair for a moment and see if we can have visual contact. Zoom in on our EFB. Right out here to our right. Let's see here. About maybe 10 miles in front of us and to our right. Hop back over to the left seat. Below 10,000 feet means landing lights are going to come into the on position. Same thing with our nose lights are going to go into takeoff. Looks like it might be a little bit of a bumpy approach down into Providence. Almost there, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful day to come into Providence. Last leg of the journey. After we hit wheels down and we taxi to the gate and start to deplane and get our baggage off, that will be the end of the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, second to last reminder to please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the channel. The goal is 25 subscribers by August 1st. That's less than one per day. So please, if you could please share this stream and maybe tell somebody about it that you may know enjoys live streams like this or simulation titles, I would greatly appreciate that. And thank you in advance. Get back into the flight deck. Start to slow her down just a little bit. We'll be starting our turn here shortly to intercept the ILS for Providence. Whoa. Alright, looks like we have some thunder clouds. Alright, we have been established on a localizer. Get our speed down a little bit more here. Auto brakes into low. Landing lights look good. As we make our final turn to land on runway 23 in Providence, coming through the clouds. Flaps 1.
Hundred above. Minimum.
Looks like we might get bumped around just a little bit here as we make our landing into Providence. Runway is in sight. Got some lightning going on right now. That's interesting. Let's get our sound turned up so everybody can hear the arrival. Let's get back in the flight deck. That is the last wing view. Landing gear will be coming down shortly. .16 knot headwind right now coming in for the landing. Flaps 2. Gear coming down. Little bumpy. Flaps 3. And flaps 4.
One thousand.
High control.
Five hundred. 400. 300. 300. 200. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Welcome to Providence, everybody. What a beautiful landing. Absolutely fantastic. Disarming the auto brakes. Let's turn off here. Beautiful. Welcome, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Absolutely fantastic. Flaps come clean. Speed brakes come forward. Welcome to Providence. Head up top. Turn off the landing lights. Runway turn off. Stay off. Taxi lights come on. APU master and starter switch come on along with the bleed. Despite all that wind, we were a little high on the approach, but we continued. Made a nice, smooth landing in Providence. To everybody that watched today, I greatly appreciate it. My third official stream on YouTube. Next stream will be Monday afternoon, shooting for around 5:30 Eastern Time. thinking we are going to be back in the PMDG 737-700. Not sure of the routing yet, but if you have any flight suggestions, or if you'd like me to fly to a particular area, please leave them in the chat below, or comment on any of my videos. I will make sure that I take any flight suggestions into account. Right, we are going to be taking the next stand. Approach slowly here. Alright, come to a stop. It's right here. Parking brake comes on, engine switches both to off. Okay, welcome to Providence, everybody. Get our ground power unit ready to go and connected. Let's get our baggage ready to go. Hello, Mr. Dan, how are you? Hope you enjoyed the arrival into Providence today. Very nice landing from Toronto. Next stream will be Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And right now, Mr. Dan, we are in Providence, Rhode Island, USA. Whoever's watching, if you could please, once again, I would like to remind you to please like the stream, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you will be notified whenever I go live next. Next live stream, as I mentioned, is Monday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will be going back into the PMDG 737-700. Not sure on the routing yet. If you have any flight suggestions, please drop them in the chat or comment on any one of my videos, and I'll be more than happy to try to fulfill those flights. Let's jump back into the cockpit real quick and start to power things down. Fuel pumps need to come into the off position. External power is on. APU bleed can come off. APU master can come off. Taxi lights come into the off position. Strobes come into the off position. Beacons will stay on. Navigation lights will stay on. Fasten seatbelt signs will come into the off position. Okay. Thank you to everybody that tuned in today. I really appreciate it. That is going to do it for today's stream. you have any flight suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I hope to see you all on Monday. Taipei to Hong Kong. Definitely, we can try that out. Let me write that down. Would you like Kai Tak or the new Hong Kong International? Alright, that's going to do it, everybody. Thank you very much, Mr. Dan. Please leave a comment telling me which airport you'd like me to go into for Hong Kong. I hope everybody has a fantastic and safe weekend. Be responsible. Don't drive if you don't feel like you should. And I will see you all on Monday afternoon. Take care, everybody.